Hi and welcome to Fast Website Flips. In this video series, I'm going to show you basically how to set up websites fairly quickly and flip them. So if you're not familiar with website flipping, let me just give you a brief introduction here. Website flipping is sort of like house flipping, but you could be buying websites or you could be building websites and selling them. So a lot of people online like to buy businesses that are already made. So in this case, you're providing the service of building the website, doing the proper research, building a website that, makes money. And we're going to talk about different business models and money-making type of websites and things like that later. But what they do is you build a website that makes money and people come along and that are interested, they'll buy it. Of course, you got to build a website that somebody would be interested in, and that's something that is actually profitable. Now, the whole idea of fast website flips is so that you can build a website fast. So we're not necessarily going to build big websites that take a lot of time and take a lot of money to invest in and require you to drive a lot of traffic. We're going to build websites that you can set up within a few hours or less than half a day or a day. Now, you might be thinking, a whole day? Well, if you think about it, you could be making a couple hundred to, 400, 500 bucks per flip, or even more, if you properly do it and you know how to do it. You don't know how to do it, you're going to mess up. And back in 2003, I used to do website flipping. And I learned a lot since then. Had a lot of mistakes and things like that. So I'm going to teach you how to do it so you don't have to make the same mistakes. This is video number 1, the introduction to fast website flips. Now, before I actually move on, I want to give you a quick overview of exactly what we're going to talk about in this video series. Of course, this is video number 1, so I'm not going to talk about that. Video number 2 is going to be brainstorming. We're going to talk about business income models. You see, before you actually begin to build a website, you need to know what kind of business income models are out there. In other words, how is the website going to make money? If you build a website without knowing how they're going to make money, then you're going to set up yourself up for failure. In fact, there are things, if you observe, Flippa.com, SitePoint, and other types of website selling sites. First, you will notice that certain sites sell better than others. For example, AdSense. AdSense sites sell very, very well. In terms of fast flips. Now, video number 3, we're going to talk about researching. Once you figure out your business income model that you want to build, or you get an idea of the different types of business models that you can build, you want to do the proper research. Research requires you to basically, go on Flippa, go on different sites, observe, and then do some brainstorming and listing of different types of websites that you yourself can build. Now, if you already have a good idea of what's profitable, you don't have to do too much research. But in this section, you're going to need to do keyword research, research on profitability, make sure that, what you have brainstormed, is profitable. If you do videos 2 and 3 properly, you're setting yourself up for success. Video number 4, we're going to talk about getting content and graphics. Now, you might be thinking, oh, getting content is so easy. Getting graphics is so easy. Yes, it can be pretty easy if you get like private label rights content and stuff. And some people do use private label rights content, but just keep in mind that if you go on Flippa, you're required to tell people, that you're using PLR content. Now, if you are using PLR content, that's fine. But I recommend that you actually outsource this part or create original content because you'll make more money. So you could get your own content, you could write your own content. I'm going to talk about what you need before you write your content. We're going to talk about keywords we're going to talk about LSI keywords as well. Because in terms of ranking the site, if you write good content, and you write good content that appeals not only to the reader, but also appeals to the search engines, you're going to get better ranking. And guess what? It's going to be indexed faster, and you could let the site sit for maybe about a week and just keep pumping out website after website and quickly establish these sites and sell them for a lot more. I'll also talk about graphics, because creating a blog or creating a website without graphics just plain stinks. Nobody likes it, and it also decreases your value if you don't include graphics. So just by including graphics will help you a lot. Video number 5, we're going to talk about building a site that sells. Taking into consideration what you have done in video number 2, 3, and 4, we're going to actually build the site. Then in video number 6, we're going to talk about website indexing and SEO basics, things like that. So after you've built your site, it's important for you to actually, index the site, get it into Google, do the proper SEO basics so that when it's indexed, it'll index and rank better. And of course, last but not least, we're going to talk about selling your website. What it entails to sell your website on Flippa, SitePoint, other sites like that, Digital Point, things like that. What do you have to do before you sell your website? Because it's not just about posting your website and leaving it as is. There's a lot of other things that you need to do beforehand. Not that it takes time, but I guarantee you once you set up one website, then setting up other websites will be a breeze. The first site will take a little bit of time because you need to set up a few things like the FAQ and videos and things like that. You don't have to set up videos if you don't want to. You're going to be required to set up some sort of PDF file that answers people's questions, because guess what? When people buy a business or people buy a site, they are going to ask a lot of questions. And particularly pertaining to the fast website flips, these types of websites generally focus towards newbies, so newbies generally have a lot more questions. Let's talk about the tools you need. You're going to need web hosting. Now, web hosting costs money. You could either go with HostGator, you could go with Servant.net. There's a lot of different places. That's just something that's necessary when you set up a website. You're going to need a domain name. Domain names can cost anywhere from $7 to $10, depending on who you use. You're going to need a keyword tool. In this case, we're going to use free keyword tools just to keep your costs low. We're going to use a general keyword tool, and we're going to use a LSI keyword tool. This will give you the ability to rank better on your content by writing better content that appeals both to the search engines as well as regular readers. You're going to need some cash. You're going to need at least about $30 to fulfill the web hosting and domain at least. You can get by, WordPress is free, so you can get by with WordPress being free, WordPress themes and things like that. And you're going to need motivation. I'm not going to say you're going to get rich quick, and I'm not going to say that this is something so easy that you can set up. In fact, you're going to need motivation and confidence in yourself, because you need, you're going to be working hard. You're going to be setting up a site, spending, half a day to a day setting up a site. But you're working hard, you're learning, and you're going to earn money if you do it right. Now, it's not guaranteed, just like anything, but like I said, you're going to need to work hard. It's not a get rich thing. Nothing out there is get rich, and nothing out there, all the gurus that say, oh, you can make money real fast. This is all about fast website flips, but this is the closest system to making fast cash with website flips. So I just want to be realistic there and be honest. So let's talk about how it works. Well, you're going to need to watch this video series, and you're going to need to get a good understanding of this business. Once you have that, then you can use the step-by-step system that I have created for you to get up and ready quickly. So you might have gotten a good idea of how the system works just by listening to me when I talked about the quick overview, but let me give you a quick recap before we move on. First, you're going to need to research, both ideas and keywords. Ideas pertaining to, what type of websites you want to build, what types of websites are profitable, things like that. Then you want to follow successful business models. Now, I learned this the hard way, but we're not necessarily teaching you to copy any type of model. We're teaching you to look on Flippa, see what's selling, and look at that and go with that. But not necessarily copy. Copy is plagiarism, and that's just not right. Alright, so create content would be the next thing. Once you've done the proper keyword research, LSI keyword research, then you can take those keywords, you can give it to an article writer to get it outsourced, or you could do it yourself. Really what it is just when you create the content is really easy, and I'll show you, step by step how to create your own article if you want to create your own article. But you can always outsource it because writing articles does take time. But if you want to get started, you're low on cash, you could always create your own content. Then we're going to talk about how to get graphics. Getting graphics is easy. There's a lot of free, royalty-free sites out there. Royalty-free just means that you buy the graphics once. You don't have to pay over and over again for licenses. So there are sites out there that can give you royalty-free pictures for free, and there are sites out there that cost money, but they don't cost a lot of money. And I'll show you those two sites later on. Then we're going to talk about setting up the website. So once you have done the proper research, everything, you got the content, you've got the graphics, you pretty much have everything you need to set up a website. The only thing you need now is WordPress to install it, to install the themes, and that's it. And install the content, article content, titles, body, and the graphics. Then you need to write up an FAQ. Like I said earlier, you're focusing on the newbie niche. So the fact that newbies are buying your websites and their fast flips, not all newbies, some people know what they're doing. However, you do need an FAQ, or you could go with, creating videos and things like that. I like to create videos because I like to teach people that way, but if you're not a video person, that's fine. You can write up an FAQ, a PDF file, and do screenshots and things like that. I'll show you how to create a quick FAQ, and to do that, you actually, go to Flippa sites, see what sites are similar to you, similar business models, see what kind of questions people are asking, write those down, answer them. But I'll show you more about that later. And of course, after that, you want to sell, sell, sell. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2, where I talk about different business models and AdSense, affiliate marketing, things like that, so you can get a better understanding of what's out there and what you can follow business model wise.